Hello and welcome. In the previous session, we have seen how to handle the exceptions in Python using try, except, else, and finally. In this session, we will learn what arrays keyword is and how to throw an exception, either that exception is built-in or custom exception. We will learn that how to create the custom exception in the next session, okay, using the raise keyword. So we can use the raise to throw an exception if a condition occurs. So if you want to throw an error when a certain condition occurs using raise, we will write something like, just look at the code. So I'm writing x is equal to 10, and there is a condition. It says that if x is greater than 5, then raise one exception, and raise and your exception name. And here you can pass your custom message as well. So here I'm passing x should not greater than 5. The value of x was, okay. So if I run this piece of the code, then you will notice the output is raise an exception and x should not be greater than 5. The value of x was 10. Okay, we can say that we use the raise keyword to throw a Python exception manually, right? And we can also add a message to describe the exception, as we have already done into this example, that we can raise the exception manually and we are adding a custom message. So we know that the exception can be generated by runtime system. So apart from that, if you want to raise your own exception, okay, so you can use the raise keyword. So to better understand, let's take a simple example. Say we want the user to enter a date, and the date has to be either the current date or the date into the future. If the user enters the past date, the program should raise an exception. Okay, so let's write a piece of the code. So for that, first of all, we'll use the datetime module, and we are importing datetime from the datetime module. And after that, we'll create the current date object. Okay. So current date is equal datetime dot now. Okay. So it will give you the current date. If you want to print, then you can use the print statement here. Current date, comma, current date. Let's take input from the user. Okay. So user date is equal input, and I will write one message that will prompt enter date in the following format. Okay. Now user will enter this date. So since user will input into the string format, so first of all, we need to convert it. So here is the code that will convert the date. Okay. So the date is provided by the user. The method is strptime, and the date input is, and the date input is in the format of this. Okay. So let's print the date provided by the user as well. So here the date provided by the user, and we are printing into the format YYMM Okay. Now I will write a piece of the code where if the date provided by the user and the current date, okay, if the certain condition is not met, okay, means the date provided by the user is less than the current date, then raise the exception and says that date provided cannot be into the past. Okay, so you can write this kind of the code. Here you can see current date is this one, and now provide the user date. Okay, so I will put here 2021-05, the month, and the date is 15. So here you can see we are getting the exception that the date provided cannot be into the past. Okay, let's run one more time. Let's enter the date 2022, then month is 12, and date is 10. Okay, so the date provided is this one, and we are not getting any exception. Okay, so if we want to throw an error when a certain condition occurs, then we can use the raise keyword. Okay, so this is the use of the raise keyword. One more thing related to the raise keyword is here you can write the exception name, or you can provide any exception with the parameter. Okay, so if you will not pass any exception with the parameter, so by default it will call its own default constructor. So whatever the message will be written inside the default constructor, it will be printed as it is. Okay, so what is mean by that? Look at this. I'm writing only exception. I'm not passing any message to this. Okay, so if I provide the date like 2021 05 and 12, so here you can see that raise an exception. The message is not printing over here. So if you want to print the custom message, you can pass the custom message over here like this. Okay, so this is all about the raise keyword and raising and throwing a custom or built-in exception using the raise keyword. I hope that raise keyword is clear. Still, if you have doubt, you can put your queries into the comment box. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.